Hello readers, and thank you for joining me for another spelling lesson. We are in SAVVAS MyView Literacy, Unit 2, Lesson 2. Our story this week is Animal Mimics, and our skill is vowel diphthongs. If that describes you, you're in the right place. Now, before we get started on our spelling words, I do want to go over what vowel diphthongs we're learning about this week and what the rules are for how we spell them and when we spell them different ways, because that can be a little tricky. The first pair of vowel diphthongs we're going to look at are going to be the oi sound, like in coin or toy. And the rule is when the oi sound is at the beginning or middle of a word or syllable, it's usually spelled oi. Now, usually, of course, does not mean always. When the oi sound is at the end of syllables or words, it's usually spelled oy, like toy. Now, the other diphthongs we're going to be using this week are going to be the ow sound. And of course, the ow sound can be spelled OU or OW. When you hear the ow sound at the beginning or in the middle of a word or syllable, it's usually spelled OU. Now, let me slide myself over real quick, get myself in the clouds. And when you hear the ow sound at the end of a syllable, it's usually spelled OW. Now, there are some rule breakers. There's always rule breakers. There's probably a rule breaker sitting right next to you. But if the word rhymes with down, frown, clown, town, or owl, howl, towel, growl, we usually use OW and not OU. So those don't fit the normal pattern, and those we will call our rule breakers. All right, now, that's a lot. But let's go ahead and get started. We're going to use our same routine we use every single week. Say the word, count the syllables, make sure you use those fingers or tap it however your teacher wants you to. Say the word again. We're going to spell it. In our class, we smash it. So we're going to smash the word, and then we're going to write it. And then after we write it, then we're going to circle our pattern. And of course, our pattern this week is diphthongs. Now, that's a lot of talking. Let's get started. Our first word is coward. Say coward. If you call someone a coward, you disapprove of them because they're easily frightened and avoid dangerous or difficult situations. Let's count the syllables. Coward. Coward. Spell it. C-O-W-A-R-D. Coward. And write it. And as usual, I'm going to tell you what to write. C-O-W-A-R-D. Of course, we're looking for our diphthong. Do you remember which one it was? O-W, that's correct. Says owl. The rabbit may have seemed like a coward as it quickly darted into its burrow to avoid the hawk, but it was really just protecting itself. Our next word is boundary. Say boundary. The boundary of an area of land is an imaginary line that separates it from other areas. Count the syllables. Boundary. Whoops, I did it wrong. Boundary. Boundary. Spell it. B-O-U-N-D-A-R-Y. Boundary. Write it. B-O-U-N-D-A-R-Y. Have you found that diphthong? OU is correct. The river acts as a natural boundary between the two herds of elephants, keeping them in separate territories. Our next word is foundation. Say foundation. The foundations of a building or other structure are the layer of bricks or concrete below the ground that it's built on. Count the syllables. Foundation. Foundation. Whoops. Let's spell it. F-O-U-N-D-A-T-I-O-N. Foundation. Write it. F-O-U-N-D-A-T-I-O-N. And our diphthong, OU is correct. The beaver's strong dam provided the foundation for their cozy lodge, keeping them safe and dry. Our next word is announce. Say announce. If you announce something, you tell people about it publicly or officially. Let's count the syllables. Announce. Announce. Let's spell it. A-N-N-O-U-N-C-E. Announce. And write it. A-N-N-O-U-N-C-E. You found that diphthong? OU is correct. Every morning the rooster would announce the start of the day with a loud crow to all the farm animals. Our next word is boycott. Say boycott. If a country, group, or person boycotts a country, organization, or activity, they refuse to be involved with it in any way because they disapprove of it. Count the syllables. Boycott. Boycott. Let's spell it. B-O-Y-C-O-T-T. Boycott. And let's write it. B-O-Y-C-O-T-T. Let's circle that diphthong. O-Y. Do you know what sound it makes? Oi, that's right. The monkeys seemed to boycott the fruit tree, avoiding it after learning its fruit was too sour to eat. Our next word is voyage. Say voyage. A voyage is a long journey on a ship or in a spacecraft. Count the syllables. Voyage. Voyage. Let's spell it. V-O-Y-A-G-E. Voyage. And let's write it. V-O-Y-A-G-E. You found that diphthong? O-Y is correct. The sea turtles embark on a long voyage across the ocean, traveling thousands of miles to lay their eggs. Our next word is exploit. If you say that someone is exploiting you, you think they're treating you unfairly by using your work or ideas and giving you very little in return. Let's count the syllables. Exploit. Exploit. Let's spell it. E-X-P-L-O-I-T. Exploit. And let's write it. E-X-P-L-O-I-T. And of course, I heard that oi sound in there. Can you find the letters for the diphthong? O-I is correct. Crows are clever enough to exploit their environment by using sticks to catch insects hidden in small cracks. Our next word is poison. Say poison. Poison is a substance that harms or kills people or animals if they swallow or absorb it. Count the syllables. Poison. Poison. Let's spell it. P-O-I-S-O-N. Poison. And let's write it. P-O-I-S-O-N. And of course, I heard that oi sound, that diphthong. How's it spelled? O-I is correct. The bright colors of the frog warn other animals that its skin contains poison and should not be touched. Our next word is toil. Say toil. When people toil, they work very hard doing unpleasant or tiring things. Count the syllables. Toil. Let's spell it. T-O-I-L. Toil. And let's write it. T-O-I-L. Let's circle that oi pattern. That's spelled O-I. The ants toil all day long, gathering food to store for the winter months ahead. Our next word is decoy. Say decoy. If you refer to something or someone as a decoy, you mean they are intended to attract people's attention and deceive them. For example, by leading them into a trap or away from a particular place. Count the syllables. Decoy. Decoy. Let's spell it. D-E-C-O-Y. Decoy. And let's write it. D-E-C-O-Y. And of course, there's that oi at the end, and it's spelled O-Y. We learned that in the rules. The lizard used its colorful tail as a decoy to distract predators while it escaped. Our next word is scrounge. Say scrounge. If you say that someone scrounges something such as food or money, you disapprove because they get it by asking for it rather than buying it or earning it. Count the syllables. Scrounge. Let's spell it. S-C-R-O-U-N-G-E. Scrounge. And let's write it. S-C-R-O-U-N-G-E. Let's circle the pattern. The owl sound is spelled O-U. The raccoon had to scrounge for food in the trash cans after failing to catch a fish by the river. Our next word is moist. Say moist. Something that is moist is slightly wet. Count the syllables. Moist. Spell it. M-O-I-S-T. Moist. And let's write it. M-O-I-S-T. Of course, there's that oi in the middle of the word or syllable, and it's spelled O-I. Frogs need to stay in moist areas because their skin can dry out if they spend too much time away from water. Our next word is choice. Say choice. If there is a choice of things, there are several of them, and you can choose the one you want. Count the syllables. Choice. Let's spell it. C-H-O-I-C-E. Choice. And let's write it. C-H-O-I-C-E. And did you find that diphthong? O-I is correct. Let's circle that. The owl made a careful choice to hunt at night when its prey is easier to spot. At least for the owls it is. Our next word is boil. Say boil. When a hot liquid boils, or when you boil it, bubbles appear in it and it starts to change into steam or vapor. Count the syllables. Boil. Let's spell it. B-O-I-L. Boil. And let's write it. B-O-I-L. Did you find that diphthong? O-I is correct. In the hot desert, the temperature can boil the sand, making it too hot for animals to walk on during the day. Our next word is ouch. Say ouch. Ouch is used in writing to represent the noise that people make when they suddenly feel pain. Count the syllables. Ouch. Let's spell it. O-U-C-H. Ouch. And let's write it. O-U-C-H. Of course, that diphthong there is O-U. I'm sure you circled it. Ouch! The porcupine's sharp quills make predators think twice before attacking it. Our next word is scout. Say scout. If you scout somewhere for something, you go through that area searching for it. Count the syllables. Scout. And let's spell it. S-C-O-U-T. Scout. and write it. S-C-O-U-T. Did you hear that diphthong? Scout. I hear an owl. How's it spelled? O-U is correct. Circle it. The wolf pack sent out a scout to search for food before the whole group moved to a new hunting ground. Our next word is allow. Say allow. If you allow something to happen, you do not prevent it. Let's count the syllables. Allow. Allow. Let's spell it. A-L-L-O-W. Allow. And let's write it. A-L-L-O-W. Circle that ow at the end. O-W. Polar bears' thick fur and fat layers allow them to survive in the freezing Arctic. Our next word is sour. Say sour. Something that is sour has a sharp, unpleasant taste, like the taste of a lemon. Count the syllables. Sour. And let's spell it. S-O-U-R, sour. And write it. S-O-U-R. Some birds love the sour berries that other animals find too bitter to eat. The next word is browser. Say browser. A browser is a person or thing that browses. Count the syllables. Browser. Browser. And let's spell it. B-R-O-W-S-E-R. Browser. And let's write it. B-R-O-W-S-E-R. Let's circle that pattern. The owl is spelled O-W. The giraffe is a browser, using its long neck to reach and eat leaves from the tallest trees. And our next word, our last word, is outline. Say outline. As a verb, if you outline an idea or plan, you explain it in a general way. As a noun, an outline is a general explanation or description of something. Count the syllables. Outline. Outline. Let's spell it. O-U-T-L-I-N-E. Outline. And let's write it. O-U-T-L-I-N-E. What's the diphthong? O-U is correct. The outline of the fox was barely visible in the tall grass as it stalked its prey. Thank you for sticking around to the end. Guys, you're getting smarter every day. I already know it's true. And until next time, happy reading.